Today we celebrate our mothers. We celebrate our mothers. If you're a mother, I applaud you. We celebrate y'all today. My mother, my wife, I celebrate them today, every day. But I'm grateful and thankful for both of them. If you got a mother and you still could talk to her, y'all still have a working relationship, talk to them. I'm grateful for my mother. I'm grateful for my wife. My wife gave me a son, healthy, big, healthy baby. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for growing up and seeing what my mama do to a point where it wouldn't make me question what she wouldn't do. To this day, as a 40-year-old man, I don't know what she wouldn't do in regards to her children. That's the importance and the significance of having a mother. I don't know what she won't do. I call her right now. I don't believe that she would ever tell me no for something that I'm asking her of. I hope and pray you have the same relationship with yours. And I understand circumstances for a lot of other people are different. But the power of a mother, that nurturing spirit when you're a child, being there for you, that tender love. I'm grateful for all of that. I'm grateful for her making me and making sure that I'm in church. I'm grateful for all of those events. I'm grateful for knowing that if I need clothes or I need shoes, my parents made sure that I had it. Now, most of the time, my mother was the one doing most of the shopping, but I had what I needed. I'm grateful for all the experiences that I've experienced with my mother. When my son was born, my mother was there. She got to see her grandchild. I'm thankful for all of that. I'm grateful for all of that. When you think back on your mother, what do you think about? Because I know for some people, your mother is no longer with us. They went on to glory. But how does that make you feel when Mother's Day come about? Because just like I can speak about my mother and my wife, I could also speak about my grandmother. My grandmother was a different breed. She stood on business and she didn't play. And that's just me being honest. But it was from a loving place. But she was a mother to, I think, 8 or 9 kids. I remember, and it's this crazy, but it just goes along with me just expressing gratitude and gratefulness towards all mothers, especially mine and my grandmother and my wife. I remember being a kid, coming home. I got off the bus, and my grandmother was outside. It's the winter months, but where we're from, it gets cold, but it don't get super cold. And my grandmother was outside. She was holding a chicken. I've never seen her do this before. This is the first time that I ever seen this. She was holding the chicken. She was petting the chicken, rubbing it. I'm like, man, what Granny doing? I ain't never seen her do this before. Never seen her do this before. And I guess once she realized that the chicken was calm, she snapped its neck. And as a kid, I'm looking at her like, man, Granny a savage. I'm looking at her like Granny a savage because the woman that I envision and see, that was the first time she'd ever done anything like that in front of me. I had never witnessed that. I'd never seen that up until at that point in life. I'd never seen it. But I'm grateful for her because when we got off the school bus, it was always something cooking. There's some meals to this day that people can cook. And they say, oh, I cooked this. And I don't eat it. I've tried it from, different people, but no one can do it like her. And she no longer with us. Even down to her cooking grits. Like, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the length of time that she would start cooking the grits before she would actually serve it. But salt, water, butter, and it was the best grits you ever had. I don't. I've never been able to imitate that grits. She was just different. There was always something to eat, something to drink. She would always. She was very stern. She was very stern, and I'm grateful for that. As a young man, you need a stern, motherly figure and mother and father involved in your life. You need that. And my mother was the same way. There were some things that I might have done, especially like in my high school years, that pained her, but she didn't let me see that pain. She didn't let me see that worry or that stress because I'm a black man in the South. There's certain things and certain elements you don't want to get intertwined with because it stick to you. And thankfully, I never really gravitated towards, excuse me, towards things that would stick to me. But I made some, careless decisions at times, typical youth decisions. But I'm grateful for the fact that I had a solid foundation between my parents. I'm grateful that my mother was there to encourage me, push me in a direction. Even if the direction I later realized wasn't the direction I needed to be, I had that foundation. I had that motherly love, man, is something that is hard to duplicate. I tell my sons all the time, nobody, and I literally mean nobody, will do for you what your mother do. Nobody. Once you become a mother, once you have children, your children's lives is more important than yours. Not saying your life ain't important, but you understand that your children got a lot more time left, so you want to make sure that they're straight in a certain manner. For that reason, I'm very grateful and very thankful for my mother, for all of the mothers out there. We celebrate you. We applaud you. We thank you. Them early mornings when you got to get up, feed the baby. I was a baby at one point. I got a twin sister, so it's two of us. Two babies. Getting up, feeding us, changing diapers. We sick, taking care of us. I remember in elementary school, I want to say it was fourth grade, I got a bad case of the flu, and I was out of school for a long period of time behind the flu. It was more than 2 weeks. I don't recall the full length of time because, we're talking 30 years ago. I don't recall the full length of time, but I was out of school for a minute. And I just remember being super sick, barely eating, may drink the broth off of the chicken noodle soup, drinking a lot of Gatorade because they tell you want to stay hydrated. With the flu, you normally run a fever and you don't take in a lot of fluids, so you want to get a lot of electrolytes in your body. I couldn't sleep at night, which is different for me because I'm a night bird. When the sun start going down, I'm ready to go to bed. I want to go down with the sun and come up with it. But I just remember for like that first week, my mom was home with me. She was making sure that I was eating or at least taking in some broth and taking in fluids. But, you got bills, you got responsibilities outside of just this. And I got to a point where I'm home by myself during the day. I would have, a box of Ritz crackers in my room to nibble on if I feel the desire to eat. I'd have bottles of Gatorade and water if I feel the desire to drink, but I would just stay in my room all day, sick. And my mother made sure I was straight. Like once an hour, they would call the house to make sure I was straight. Either was her or my dad, just to make sure I was good. And this back in the day before the cordless phones existed, the cordless house phones. I mean, I know today some may be listening to this and don't even recollect what a house phone is, but the cordless phone doesn't exist, so you would have these long phone cords. And for me, my bedroom was across from my parents' bedroom. So they had this long cord, this long phone cord that they would plug into the phone jack in the wall and then drag the phone over to my nightstand. So the phone was in my room. The phone would ring. It'd be either her or my dad calling to check on me, make sure I'm all right. When I broke my arm, at a skating rink. I was in crazy pain. My mom took me to the doctor. Same doctor that she had when she broke her arm. I'm in a cast for a few weeks. But these are the things that your mother do for you. They do a lot. Some of it go unrecognized, some of it go really unvalued because you especially when you're in that youth, that teenage years, you're thinking, I'm invincible, I'm godlike, I don't care what happened, I don't care how much I'm hurting my mama. You don't see that until you get a little older and you realize how much your mama did or what she sacrificed to make sure that you had. You don't see those things until later in life, and then you grow to appreciate them because they didn't have to do it, but they did it. Same applies to my wife. I'm very thankful for her. I'm very grateful for her. She's a hell of a mother. I couldn't ask for my sons to have a better mother than my wife. If my kid's sick, my wife making sure they get to the doctor. Even if I can't make it, I know what time the appointment is, where it's at, the doctor name. I know these details. When I get off work, if she's telling me, hey, we need XYZ as far as medication, I'm stopping after work, grabbing medication, or stopping after work and grabbing Pedialyte or grabbing Gatorade or grabbing crackers or soup, whatever the case is, but she steps up for her children. And I tell my children all the time, nobody will do for you like mama will. Now, of course, being that they're 17 and 8, they really can't digest what I'm saying because I'm hitting them with this 40-year-old wisdom. They can't really understand what I'm saying, but they'll understand it later on because mama did this and mama did that. Mama bought me a phone, mama bought me an iPad, mama bought me some shoes. I don't care if mama getting all the credit because we a unit. Me personally, I don't need credit for anything. I don't care if y'all got what y'all need and y'all give all the credit to mama. Cause I know mama's gonna do way more for you than I'm gonna do because I'm gonna love you from that father aspect. There's certain things that I won't move on. There's certain things that I won't adjust to, or certain things that I won't be enlightened with when it comes to raising up my boys. I don't have any daughters. But I'm very thankful for my wife and the manner of the motherhood that she plays on the lives of our sons. The things that she do for our sons. I don't question it, just like I don't question my mom. I don't question it. I know my wife will go to bat for my sons. And to be honest, I don't want to be on the opposite end of that damn bat. I don't want to be on the receiving end for what she gonna bring about our children. That's a losing battle. I'm thankful for that because my kids get to see firsthand what mama gonna do. They don't have to question it. Again, I say today we celebrate the mothers. We give y'all the credit. We give y'all the glory. We thankful. If you a mother out there and somebody hasn't given you your flowers, hasn't given you applause, even if it's your children, I salute you. I applaud you. Here's your flowers. Because y'all play the most significant, important part of society and keeping society going that don't get enough attention. It don't get enough attention. I wouldn't have children if it wasn't for my wife. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mother. She wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her mother. And it goes on. God's greatest gift to man is a woman. She is the vessel that brings life into this world, on this planet, in this realm. We need to stop mistreating our women and our mothers. We need to be thankful and grateful for our mothers. I know my children are. I know they are. Because we spoil them. And she spoiled them more than me, but they are spoiled. But I'm thankful. I'm very thankful for them late nights when our youngest kid was a baby and me and her barely getting any sleep, but we thugging it out. They don't see that. They ain't gonna remember it. But I do. She do. It's that motherly love. You can't duplicate it. You cannot duplicate it. Thank you to all the mothers. You are appreciated. You are saluted. I just want you to know that. Don't ever question your motherhood. I don't care how many kids you got. You a hell of a mother. You're doing the best you can. You taking what you have and making the most of it. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers.